Cancer hits the fire service really hard, but one of the easiest fixes that we control is how we clean ourselves. Today's guest is Tara Cornett, a Navy veteran, sister of a San Diego firefighter, and the founder of Flame Natural Decon. She saw a gap. Plenty of products for rigs, for gear, and for firehouses, but almost nothing for the firefighter's skin. She created a proprietary Decon blend. Crews went out and tested it after real burns ranging from the Marshall Fire in Colorado to FDIC live training, and post-shower swabs came back with non-detectable amount of carcinogens. So today we get practical. We talk about on-scene gross decon that you'll actually do. We talk about why some wipes tear up your skin. And we talk about laundry that doesn't redeposit junk onto your skin. Most importantly, how to protect your family from that take-home exposure. Plus, you'll get Tara's spicy takes on clean cabs and working out in gear. Let's get into it.
Welcome to the Keep the Promise podcast, where we help build resilient and well-rounded firefighters.
Cancer is one of those unavoidable things in the fire service. However, we have a chance of mitigating. And we can get into the arguments of clean cabs and the different gears with PFAS and so on and so forth. But undeniably, one of the best things that we can do without massive infrastructure changes is how we clean ourselves. And that is where Flame Decon comes in helping us with the procedures and with the materials, if you will, for a better personal decon. So Tara, welcome to the Keep the Promise podcast. I'm so pumped that we finally made this happen after going back and forth. And I'm super excited to pick your brain about the brand, about your goals, about your reasons for starting it, and everything along the way.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here, and thank you for having me.
So, as we always do, let's just get started. Tell me about you and tell me about Flame.
Yeah, absolutely. So I am a Navy veteran, and my brother is on the job in San Diego. So I launched Flame, started research and development about 6 years ago, and sold our first product a little over 5 years ago. And our goal is to reduce cancer rates in the fire service where it counts, with the firefighter who actually is the one who gets cancer.
Was there a moment that you just said, nobody's doing this? Like what part of the landscape made you take that step into entrepreneurship, into creating that product?
For sure. So rewind several years. I was working, my background is in public relations and the military. So I was doing public relations for the Army, for Army recruiting. And the agency that I was working for lost a huge contract with Army recruiting, and hundreds of people were laid off from their jobs, as was I. And in that, I thought I wanted to continue my public relations career. So I originally launched a PR firm. And my mom, as she was retiring, she really wanted something in retirement. And so she launched a gear and gift store for firefighters and their families, because she asked my brother 1,000,000 times for the fire mom sticker for the back of her car. And it just took forever to get it. So she was like, what if I can provide this? Right. So in that transition, I realized that I didn't want a PR agency. I was sick of working for people to build their pockets. I needed to work for the greater good. And my mom wanted some help in her business, because running a business is hard, especially as you're looking at retirement. So she and I then went at that business together and ran firemom.com together for a while. And then she decided that she wanted to fully retire. So when she decided she wanted to fully retire, I changed our mission from gear and gifts to firefighter health and wellness. And then, so in looking at that, I really needed to change the products that we were providing. I needed to look at, what do we need to provide to really fit this mission? Started looking at books for mental health, all of the different things out there to reduce the risk of cancer. And when I started looking at that, I realized there were things out there to clean the apparatus, clean the gear, clean the station, but nothing specifically developed to clean the firefighter, the one who actually gets cancer. So that's what really sparked the interest. And then I dove into the science behind it, realized that I could develop this in a way that wasn't out there at all in any sense that would truly work for firefighters. And once I realized that, it was just this calling. I had to do it because, one, I want my brother to be around for his kids. Two, if it can help my brother, it can help the hundreds of thousands of other firefighters who are out there.
Now, talk to me about the research and development, because it's one thing to say, found a calling, I dove into it, I want to learn more. But this is not a, as we call it, first try Fridays. You don't just get it on the first shot, right? Talk to me about those early prototypes. Run me through the process of how many, Edison was claimed to have had how many failures, 1,000 failures, and the 1,000 at first is when he got the light bulb. What was that light bulb moment for you? How do you remember the number of failures, and what were those initial ones until something finally clicked?
So, let me kind of give you, one, the first prototype was it, but I didn't stop testing. But let me kind of step back and talk about the science here.
There goes my entire question. You're like, no, I got it right on the first shot.
No, it's
Boom.
good.
Mic drop.
Done. Podcast done.
Done.
So the science behind it is so important, though. And I'm going to get a little nerdy. I'm not going to take up too much time with it because I don't want to bore people. But the reason that Flame is so different is because of our proprietary blend of activated charcoal, right? So every other product out there in the market is using one type of activated charcoal. And the way the activated charcoal works is that there are pores in different types of activated charcoal. When they steam it at high heat and break it down into activated charcoal, when you have these different natural resources, activated charcoal is made from coal, peat, peanut shells, coconut shells. I mean, you name it, so many different things. So when you break those down, they're going to have different properties. The one that we're really looking at is the pore structure, the pore size there. Because when you remove an activated charcoal, when you remove a carcinogen with activated charcoal, you have to match the pore size of the activated charcoal with the size of the carcinogen you're trying to remove, or it won't remove it. If that pore structure is too large, the carcinogen is going to go right through it. If the pore structure is too small, it's not going to go in and get trapped, right? So you have to have activated charcoal that matches the size of the carcinogens you're trying to remove. But when you're looking at Firefighter Decon, you're looking at so many different sizes of carcinogens. So take a carcinogen like soot. It has everything from 0.01 to 1,000 nanometers in size in soot, right? Take an activated charcoal like coconut activated charcoal. Has super, super small pores in it. It'll remove everything under 2 nanometers. So if you're only removing under 2, you're leaving the rest of that soot on the skin. Our activated charcoal blend has 4 different types in there that remove all sizes of carcinogens. So it's going to remove all that soot, all kinds of other carcinogens. And that's what's so different and unique about our product. It's one of the reasons we protect the blend so well. People proprietary. Well, what are they hiding? Well, we're protecting ourselves and we're protecting you. But that's really the science behind the activated charcoal and why it's so different. Now, with that, I did research, figured all that out, came up with our blend, and our blend is based on the types of carcinogens that firefighters come into contact with most. So then I took that to scientists, these biochemists that develop these formulations for shampoo, body wash, soap, that kind of thing. Had them, one, look at the science that I had found and look at our proprietary blend and verify that everything I was doing was correct. Because I'm just a girl with a PR background. Sure, I have my esthetician license, I know
just
skin,
a girl.
but I'm not a biochemist. So they verified the research here. They helped me build the formulations around it. So that's where we get the prototypes, right? So we went into this and I told them, one, this is for firefighters, so I want it to be affordable. But also I want it to be naturally derived so it's safe for them. I don't want to be putting carcinogens on the skin to remove carcinogens. Huge deal. So we go into this, they come up with a formulation. I told them, like, this thing to obviously get them clean. So one of their main concerns at first was like, let's make sure that none of the ingredients clog the pores of the activated charcoal, blocking it from working. Super important. So none of them do. And everything works with it to continue to get you clean, right? So we went into this, and the first few formulations they sent me, I went through ingredient by ingredient and let them know what was acceptable or not. So really our first stabs at it were just me rejecting ingredients, saying that these aren't clean enough ingredients. So once we got to a formulation that the ingredients looked great, they then formulated that and sent it to me. And tried it myself first and said, this works amazing. Had a couple of people try it. This works amazing. And this was our shampoo and body wash. But we're not going to get on the first try. Like it's got to get better. So one of the things that I asked them was, this is when you it gets you squeaky clean. It's not going to leave you dry and roughed up. It's going to leave you feeling smooth and nice, but remove everything. But it leaves you squeaky clean. And I was like, should it be more moisturizing, right? So we played with a few things and really just came back to that first formulation because they hit it out of the park when they finally did the first formulation and we had the ingredients right.
Real quick before we jump back in. Firefighters don't leave each other behind. We look out for our own. Right now, there's a firefighter out there, maybe a rookie, maybe a seasoned veteran, who needs this podcast. They need the lessons, the mindset, and the training tips. But they'll never get them unless you help them. Here's how you can help right now. On Apple Podcasts, tap the 5 stars, then scroll down and write just a few words about what the show has done for you. On Spotify, tap the 3 dots, select Rate Show, and drop your rating. It takes less than 60 seconds, it costs you nothing, and it helps one more firefighter get better, stronger, and more prepared. We look out for each other. This is one small way that you can pay it forward. All right, back to the show. I dig it, especially the fact that you were able to take that blend of charcoal to cover the different particle sizes. And you're speaking nanometers, that's my nerd language. And that was going to be my question, okay, cool. So are we taking a one-size-fits-all approach of hey, let's just... I assumed that the bigger the pore, it was just going to be able to grab more of the carcinogens. And I guess it's, this one is just right. What's that?
Goldilocks.
Little Red Riding Hood. Thank you, Goldilocks. I was
yeah.
Little Red Riding Hood. Yeah, it's like Goldilocks. Can't be too big, can't be too small. It's got to be just right. Super interesting. I had no idea that's how it worked. How does that translate to that ever-present smell of smoke? And I say that because I'll never forget the first fire I went to, in, dear God, 2005, 2006 or something, some year back then, that I kept showering after the fact for days, and I would still smell that smoke. And looking back on it, the fact that I could still smell smoke in my hair after the fact is probably not a good sign.
No.
So, but for a long time, that's how I assumed, hey, if that smell of smoke is gone, then I'm good. Is that the right approach?
It's actually a great approach because if it's not coming back 3 days later, the smell is coming from those carcinogens still being on you in your body, right? My favorite thing, though, is firefighters being skeptical of my products. Firefighters have used I don't know, probably dozens of products trying to get rid of that smoke smell before, and there's nothing out there that's worked before. So especially when I first launched, everybody was super skeptical. So it was trying it, and that holy shit, this works moment brings me great joy. Because it does. I have so many firefighters. Their comment is, I went home and my wife asked, like, you said you went to a fire today. Like, I don't smell it on you. And it's a lot of times their spouse that's like, what gives? You know, I don't smell it. But also I hear from firefighters all the time that, you know, I used to smell like smoke for 3 days and I don't anymore. Yeah, it's very rewarding to hear those things, but absolutely it's that tie to the smell has something. There really is something there to it.
And you touched on that skepticism, and that's something that you and I talked about before, when the first time ever that we were mandated to use whatever commercially made wipes. And I'll tell everybody this story that, you know, I was being good, and I was wiping my hands and my face and behind the ears and the neck. And I don't know what they put in these wipes, but within 2 or 3 days, the skin was just like raw and like sloughing off. Like, I had such a horrendous reaction that I vowed to never use them again. Like, the safety officer would get so upset at me. He'd be like, you have to get clean. Like, it's a department order. I'm like, dude, my ear damn near fell off the last time. I'm not using this. I'll go back and I will, like, I don't know, scrub myself with a stiff bristle brush or something before I use these stupid things.
And that is 100% part of what I tried to do here, is that I think more people than not have probably had a bad experience with Decon. It feels like a chore. It has wrecked your skin. Everybody has a different story. But part of my approach here was, I've got the science behind it. I've developed this so it truly works. So in that, though, I've developed products that leave you feeling good, leave you smelling good, and they smell good. You like to use them. I've created products that firefighters like to use so that when you get back to the station, like, you want to go do that. Right now, we're actually releasing new scents that, like, almost takes it from, like, a Decon product to a lifestyle brand, if you will. It gives people options of, like, I want to smell like this after a fire, something that you can enjoy. So you're not running to those mainstream products that aren't actually removing the carcinogens. You now have a product that will remove the carcinogens and give you what you want out of it.
Yeah, different flavors, if you will.
Totally not edible.
Not with that attitude. Anything's edible if you believe in yourself. Listen, you're saying they're non-toxic and they're good for you, so technically I should be able to chug it, right?
There are things that are non-toxic for your skin. You shouldn't be.
That I should not be chugging. It's got activated charcoal, so when I'm throwing it up, it's actually not going to be that bad, right?
Crazy marketing coming on.
God, yeah, we have gone completely off the rails. Tell me more about, okay, we'll nerd out a little bit longer, because these tests, right? Like, there will be, we talked about the skeptics, right? We're friends with John, who is an absolute mega nerd, who is big into all the testing, all that, using labs and nerds and whatnot. So tell me about validating the efficiency and the efficacy of your products. It's one thing for me to be like, smells good, it's good for the carcinogens. Cool. I know sometimes we don't like science, but let's talk about the science.
No, the science proves that it's working. So I'm all about it. So our first testing that we did was after the Marshall Fire. So the largest mixed structure wildland fire that we've had in Colorado to date. And firefighter was out fighting this fire. Afterwards, used the swabs from the lab that I use to take the carcinogens off of his skin, right? Went back, showered with flame, then took another swabbed all over again. We sent that to my lab, and they were able to look at that And this was before they were able to break down exactly what carcinogens were in there. But they looked at it and they were able to tell how much it had reduced. And this is under their high-tech microscopes and FDI, I don't know, this technology.
For your transform infrared?
I'm not a John nerd. I just know that they do their job really well. And and now with that equipment, they can tell exactly what carcinogens are in there. So like they're looking at the nitty gritty, right? So after Marshall Fire, they compared this, and the carcinogens after the fire, super high. And then afterwards, it was so low that they then took a blank stick and ran it, and it came back almost identical to their blank swab. Because they were like, was this used?
Right.
They could tell that we had actually used it, but it was almost identical. So then our next round of testing, because we want to do that again once they can actually break down and see the carcinogens in it, right? Like their technology's advanced, let's advance it. So at FDIC a couple of years ago, Bobby Eckert and his team, Eckert Fire Tactics, they took swabs out to their burn site. And their stoker, after stoking the fire all day, swabs himself and then, seals that up, takes a shower with flame, swabs himself again, sent that back for testing. And then they were able to break down the exact carcinogens that were on him after stoking that fire all day, and then ran it, and carcinogens were non-detectable on his skin afterwards. They just weren't there.
Can't fight that at all.
No.
That's real life.
Yeah, absolutely. Super, super rewarding to get that back. And it was very humbling too, because while I knew that the science was there, and I had done the research to know the science was there, I then verified it with the scientists. Then to come back and have that testing come back, I knew I was actually making a difference in firefighters' lives, and that I could truly reduce the rate of cancer in the fire service with these products.
Yeah, because I think it's important to realize that cancer reduction it's not that silver bullet, right? It's 1,000 golden BBs that we talk about in business all the time. You have to do so many things to reduce it. Just saying, hey, I'm going to, I don't know, this is going to piss people off. Got to have a clean cab engine. That's going to reduce cancer. Hey, we're going to have this certain type of turnout gear. Okay, like by themselves on islands, whatever, negligible. But if you are cognizant about the turnout gear, look, I'm always going to shit on clean cabs, even though my engine was a clean cab. But hate them, I think they're stupid. But you have legitimate turnout gear that's not going to pack you full of PFAS. You have diesel mitigation in the firehouse, diesel exhaust mitigation. You have the right decon procedures. Okay, now you're hitting it from multiple angles. You're deconning yourself. You're taking the right holistic, multi-pronged approach to fixing the cancer exposure, the carcinogen exposure issue.
Yeah,
now,
I think that... I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I think that this is one of those things that you have to look at very holistically, as like you're going through your fire service career and your life, right? You have to look at all of these different situations you're in and remember you're inhaling, absorbing through your skin, and ingesting. So then take each of those situations that you're in and figure out how those toxins are getting into your body and try to eliminate that if you can, right? So you are in the fire station. You've come back from a call. You haven't washed your hands. You've gone and touched all kinds of things. You need to wipe down those surfaces. So then later on, after you have washed your hands and washed your body, you're not coming back and recontaminating yourself. You are out at a training burn. And we know that testicular cancer is very high for firefighters. If you're not washing your hands before you go to the bathroom, You've been feeding them carcinogens for years. What did you expect to happen? You just have to think through each of these scenarios and figure out where you're putting these toxic chemicals in your life. And so then stepping away from the firehouse, look in your kitchen. What are you washing your dishes with? Are you washing your dishes with Dawn, the same thing that you're washing yourself with out at the fireground? Because Dawn has carcinogenic ingredients in it. Why are you putting that on your plate that you're eating off of? All of these little things. So with that, though, it gets overwhelming. And I'm always hesitant to really talk about all of the different aspects of life with it because it seems intimidating. So my thought on it, though, is do one thing at a time. Make one habit switch at a time. Download an app like the Yuka app where you can go and scan the barcode of every product in your house, and it'll tell you if it's toxic or not, how it's toxic, what ingredients are toxic. It'll recommend other products that you can use. EWG Skin Deep does the same thing. They have an app as well. And just slowly swap out things. Because then once you swap those things out in your house, that part's taken care of. Just that holistic approach of just seeing where you are in life and where the chemicals are coming from.
Yeah, because I think if we start really digging into it, it's so easy to end up like Bubble Boy and being like, dude, I can't touch anything, look at anything. It's all going to give me cancer. So what are the top 3 things that you would recommend to start making that lifestyle change for firefighters specifically? Because obviously the cancer rates in firefighters are astronomically higher compared to the everyday human being. So what 3 things can we start doing today to start reducing that?
Trying to figure out which side of this I want to go on. I want to go on a couple of sides of it here.
All right. Pick
Okay,
one and let's run.
So one, outside of Decon, your physical fitness, being overweight is proven to be you're at higher risk for cancer, right? So while there are people out there browbeating about physical fitness in the fire service, that's another risk factor for cancer. Working out actually produces an enzyme, the protein, and I don't know, the sciencey stuff that actually fights cancer. So I think working out and being physically fit as a firefighter is a really important thing. Your sleep, disruptions in circadian rhythm, that increases your risk for cancer. I know that is something that is unavoidable in the fire service, but off shift, you need to make sure you're getting good sleep and resetting that circadian rhythm. Also, I made notes.
I love it.
Also, clean up your eating habits. I think that goes right along with physical fitness, but you look at these things that firefighters are consuming all the time, the energy drinks, the Cheetos, the what have you, they're terrible for you. They have so many bad ingredients that are just terrible for your body and tearing you apart inside out, that I think it's a really important aspect to look at. Taking it back to the other side, the Decon side. Again, it's that holistic approach, but you are the one who will get cancer in the end. So one, make sure, of course, I'm biased here, but that your body is cleaned and cleaned properly. And then look at things. I'm not a clean cat person at all. I don't subscribe to that bullshit. I think that if you are on the way to a call and you have, you haven't done search yet. You haven't done a size up yet. You don't know who's in that building. And there's a 2-year-old that died because you had a clean cab. That's complete bullshit. So I don't subscribe to that. What I do subscribe to, though, is mitigating your risk where you can. And I'm going to bring up something I haven't talked about in a while is I know there are a lot of people out there who think that working out in gear is an absolute must for the fire service. And I just don't think it is. I think that you're putting yourself at a higher risk of cancer because that outer layer that's sprayed with PFAS to make it oil and water resistant, as it ages, the more it sloughs off, the more you absorb it, ingest it, and inhale it. So the more you're putting yourself at risk. If you're going to work out in gear, make sure you're deconning afterwards. And protecting your airway somehow because you're breathing heavier, you're breathing it in during that. And then doing things like keeping your kitchen area, your sleeping area clean, washing your hands before you go to the bathroom, those kind of things.
So you probably triggered a lot of people who believe in working out in gear. And
yeah.
Tell me more. Go on.
So the reason that I stopped talking about this is because the more I would talk about it, the harder they would go.
Oh, yeah. And that's why I'm pushing
The more
you.
I talked about it, the more people that worked out in gear, the more people they encouraged to work out in gear. And I've had many conversations with them about it, and I understand their viewpoint on it. But I also think that there are ways to do this differently. Where if you wear a weighted vest, get one of those air restricting masks that isn't your pack. I mean, I think there are other ways around this, and I still think that working out in gear is an ego thing.
I'm using that as a soundbite, and it is going to piss off so many people. I tend to take the more
reigniting that fire in people.
You're welcome. You are welcome. As with most things in life, I believe that it is nuanced and that it's not a black or white, it's the shades of gray. I remember I had an officer who preached checking the apparatus with fire gloves on, because that's how you're going to get the dexterity and everything, and that's how you're going to learn to use those things. Yes. At the same time, I think we approach a lot of things in the fire service as if you just forget all of those things every day, as if there's no adaptation, as if suddenly, because I did not check the ladder truck with gloves on one day, I am literally having nubs instead of fingers anymore. Like, the dexterity's still going to be there. Hopefully, right? Unless I just, 50 first dates and I just forget my life from the previous 3 days immediately.
It's still going to be there. I know plenty of firefighters who are absolutely kick-ass firefighters who are the best they can be at their job who don't work out in gear.
I mean, we know firefighters who are amazing who don't even work out. And those are like the outliers that it's like, it's kind of hard to push an agenda when you look at these guys who, smoke a pack a day, eat McDonald's, and everybody else is huffing and puffing. You're like, how is this old bastard running laps around me? This is ridiculous. Yeah, I think.
I can tell you. So when I go out to Ecker Fire Tactics trainings, they are incredible, and they make sure that I get the most out of it out there. They want me to grow my business. Of course, they want everybody to know about Flame. They completely believe in it, but they also give me opportunities to go into their training burns, so that I can learn more about the fire service and about what you guys do. I'm constantly talking to firefighters just to learn more about what you guys do, so that I can continue developing products and developing the company to truly serve you guys. My bragging moment, though, is the first time I went in. I won't say the firefighter who took me in because I don't want to call him on the carpet here, but we're
Dang
going
it, Bobby.
through, and he goes, it wasn't Bobby. It wasn't Bobby.
I'm going to use that soundbite from King of the Hill. Dang it, Bobby. Anyway.
We're going through, though, and he goes, hold on a second, I want to check your air. And he checks my air, and he goes, Tara, what the fuck? You're using less air than me. I was like, I know.
Imagine if you worked out in gear, you would use a lot less air. just
I
putting
wasn't
that out
using
there.
much hair anyway.
I'm just putting that out there. You would
My
like not
first
use
time in a
any air.
fire.
Okay, so now that we have the pitchfork mob out after us, thank you very much for telling them not to work out in gear.
This is what I do.
Let's switch gears a little bit. So I know about the shampoo and the body wash because you talked about it. What else do you have out there in the line of Flame Decon products?
So hand soap.
Okay.
So you can wash those grubby fingers before you go to the bathroom and before you eat because you don't want to ingest or absorb. We have laundry detergent and a shave soap just because the guys asked for shave soap. So I was like, I guess.
With good flavors, I hope, for the shave soap.
They. Jeez.
And I assume it's the same formulation for all of them. And it's interesting that you got into the laundry stuff because I think that further that takes that holistic approach that we're talking about. It's like, okay, the person, now the clothing, because that's not something we think about too much. It's like, oh, it's going to get washed. It'll be fine. Will it?
So one, our laundry detergent is not for turnout gear. It's for everything else, right? We have guys using it to clean their hoods, their helmet liners, all of their clothes underneath, station wear. I mean, everything else, right? With that, though, we've seen, thankfully, like the bags and gear and family equipment that was going home with firefighters and being turned into diaper bags and purses. And thankfully, we've seen that kind of fall by the wayside. I think a lot of people are learning about turnout gear and the costs there to the family. But the same goes for your clothing. If you are wearing clothes home that you've been at the fire station in, where all these carcinogens have been traced back, where diesel exhaust fume has been there, and you go home and you hug your toddler, you are then sharing those carcinogens with your toddler. There was a study done in Kitsap County, Washington, a few years ago, where it was studying the cancer rates in children of firefighters. And what that study found was, I think it was like 1 in 500 firefighters' kids got cancer compared to 1.7 in 10,000 children in the general population.
God.
Which is, heartbreaking and scary as hell. You look at that and you go, okay, that's still like 0.25%, right? But take a large department with 1,000 firefighters. That's 2 kids in that department. You don't want 2 kids in your department to get cancer because of their dad's job?
And that's on top
Terrible.
of the fertility issues and the miscarriage rates and every other thing that we've studied. The more that we talk about it, the more we realize, like, this wrecks families if you're not smart about it.
Absolutely. So I think it's really important to not be sharing those carcinogens with your children. And one of those ways is through your clothing. This was actually a product that was developed because firefighters were asking for it. I had firefighters using our shampoo and body wash to launder their clothing, a lot of them. Our buddy John at Rescue One included.
Kind of hard to launder clothes when you're in the office, though.
What's that?
I said kind of hard for him. Yeah, when he's stuck in the office. He's going to be so mad when he hears that. He's going to be like, fuck you, I'm back in the field.
He's going to be so mad.
His hard life of updating life packs. Yeah, lots of carcinogens there. He's going to be furious. Interesting that they were using them for a purpose that was not specified.
Totally. So then last year, year before, NFTIC, again, Ecker Fire Tactics, he said, this is a different year than the other testing. I said, after your burn building days, bring me your laundry. And I took all their laundry back to my Airbnb and I washed their clothes for them so that I could test our laundry detergent.
That
It was
poor
great.
Airbnb owner is like, what the fuck happened to my washer and dryer?
Why is there this black stuff?
Right. And you mentioned the
then-
clothing. It reminds me of something that one of the guys, Nick Lindsay, said in a previous podcast episode, which really resonated, is that for him, he makes it a point to never wear his uniform home because it is now time to be dad. It is now time to be not Nick the firefighter, but Nick the dad. And be in
Absolutely.
that mindset, start getting that shift in the thought process, in the feelings, in the actions. And now we have more evidence that it's important to do that. Like for the mental sake, yes, and also for not bringing carcinogens to your kids, because maybe it was a chill day, maybe it was just 12 hours, maybe it wasn't anything crazy. But by virtue of being at a firehouse, around the gear that's off-gassing all the time, around the apparatus that is spewing out the diesel into the bay, still bring those carcinogens. Or, you just happen to rub by a wall that somebody ended up, I don't know, with their turnout gear on, and now you just pick that shit up.
Absolutely. I love that mindset shift too of the getting home and just the mindset shift to the family life as opposed to the fire life. I think that just helps the, automatically transition. So I want to talk about one, a little bit about the laundry detergent, but then I want to talk more about kids around the fire service. So one, our laundry detergent is, so you mentioned something about the formulations. So our activated charcoal blend is the same in everything. The shave soap is different in that it has stuff that helps it like glide on the skin, right? So that's different than the regular soap in that way. Our laundry detergent, we took out all of the like foamy ingredients and we added in enzymes. So these enzymes break down the fats, oils, carbs, sugars that bind these carcinogens to the clothes. And then the activated charcoal is then able to do its job, get close to it, bind to it, and wash it away. So that's why the laundry detergent works and works so well for what you guys do. So then let's circle back to kids around the fire service, because I think this is an important topic to talk more about. So you have firefighters going home with carcinogens on them. We want to make sure they're not doing that. But also, kids love visiting the fire station, right? And we're not going to take that away from these babies. They love it. But I think it's really important to be mindful of when they're there, don't let them touch things and then put their hands in their mouths, which kids love to do. Kids are constantly putting their hands in their mouth. I think watch that super closely. Decon them when you get home. Decon their clothes when you get home. Make sure, before they eat at the station, they're washing their hands. I think all these little things that we can do to help mitigate their risk as well is super important. I'll also say, we don't know for sure where these cancer rates in children are coming from. It was one study, it was a small study, and we don't know if it is solely the carcinogens that they're coming across, or if it's that mom or dad has been a firefighter for so many years that they've passed that on through DNA changes. We don't know, but all we can do is protect the kids the best we can.
Right. Sort of make that assumption in the right direction and work off of it.
Absolutely.